Hello, everyone. Welcome to the post-mortem where we break down the game that's just finished between Manchester United and Aston Villa. We have won 3-2. Hojlund has just got his first goal in the Premier League. Absolutely buzzing for him. Garnacho, absolute stellar performance. 2 goals from him as well. And we've had to do it from behind. So it's actually a post-mortem where we sat here and we can discuss so many fucking positive things. And there's a lot of things to talk about as well, which are very interesting. But Connor, first and foremost, I mean, I don't even know where to start. You go with whatever you want. You go with Garnacho or Hojlund or wherever you want to go with this. You take it, mate.
Hojlund.
Oh, Hojlund.
I feel like we have to break that ice there. Where it's like Rasmus Hojlund gets his first goal. That's the most important thing out of this as well as we won, of course. But hopefully now that could be a huge boost in Hojlund's confidence, because we could see when he got that goal, the huge relief in his face. It was like, it was just incredible to see, like the passion of it and all that as well. Then everyone going up to him. It's just brilliant, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the second half was such a, we were dominated pretty much. Villa didn't, they had a few chances to try and score themselves, and obviously Evans made a good block and whatnot. Garnacho probably was better on the right hand side than I've seen on him on the left side for a long time as well. So, huge positives to take from that. And obviously Rashford looks great tonight as well. But, obviously don't get too carried away, because obviously it's our first win in a while.
Yeah.
And, especially for scoring as well. Jesus Christ, we've been waiting a long time for that. So not trying to get too carried away. But...
Get fucking carried away, because we haven't, you know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen again. Do you know what I'm saying? There's been that many shit performances this season. To take something like that, people, I'm telling you now, fans will give you shit for celebrating and being like, "No, you have to come from behind or whatever, blah blah blah." But if you realise our luck this season and how shit we've actually been, getting a performance like that is absolutely massive against a team who's only lost 3 times this season, and they beat Spurs, they beat Arsenal, they beat City. Like, they are a very good team. And to come behind and do that, like, it's
there's a reason why Aston Villa are up there, because of how well drilled they are.
Yeah.
And, you've seen it with like the results that they're getting, the reason why they're, around the top 4 as well. But yeah, like, the only reason why I say let's not get carried away is because how many times we say, let's build on this, and then we go back to the ways. But let's just be positive tonight. We've got the win. That's the main thing at the end of the day. Well,
I'd love to get everybody's comments in. There's more and more people joining the chat. Absolutely buzzing. Get your comments and your opinions, and we'll read them out very shortly. Sam, as always, with the post-mortems, we tried to go through them like chronologically, but obviously we're very excited in a minute, so it's a bit all over the place. If we take it back to the first half, wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, was it?
No, it's pretty much one of the most defensive shambles of performance I've seen from United, considering we've been quite good defensively the last couple of games, and it's been the forward line that has been like lacking, and the midfield. But it seemed like with selection, okay, Ten Hag, he's took McTominay out, he's put Eriksen in for the intelligence on the ball, Mainoo's playing again, Bruno is allowed to play higher up, Varane's back in the team with Evans, experienced centre-back partnership, Wan-Bissaka's there. Obviously there's a bit of a sort of letdown that Shaw's, is he ill or is he minor?
I think it's minor injury, yeah.
Right. So Shaw's not in there, which is not the best, but thing, and we were just shocking defensively, just all over the place. I don't understand what we were doing. Set pieces, whoever the set piece coach is needs sacking immediately, because
Eric Ramsey,
that defending on those set pieces, both of them, was abysmal. I've never seen anything like it. Onana probably at fault for the first one, which
I was glued to his line.
I don't know what he was
just
doing.
Glued to his line, mate.
No idea what he was doing.
De Gea got fucking absolutely crucified. Like smoked for that as well. Yeah.
Don't know what he was doing, and just let it go in. No ideas. And then the second one, the Donker is in the middle of a 6-yard box with not a player within 10 yards of him, and he's back heel flicking it in the air into the net. It's a fucking joke of a goals, both of them to concede, like absolutely ridiculous goals to concede. And I was, as you saw in the group chat, I'm sorry people who were not in the group chat, it's hard to explain, but I was fucking furious at that half. And Chivy, who's in the chat, and Chivy, 100% right, I'm wrong, you got it spot on, and I owe you a bottle of whatever drink you want to name. I was furious, and despite the fact that we had sort of positive moments in that half, I was fucking fuming at that half. to see two stupid goals from two set pieces is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Rightfully so, though, because the goals that you just mentioned were the two of the easiest goals you'll ever score. Like, they probably couldn't believe it. And when they went in at half time, it was like, how the fuck have we just got 2 goals like that? One of them, you see Longley, I think it is, just literally runs off his man to the back post. No one's striking him. Straight back into Dendoncker. Dendoncker hadn't scored in like 9 years. And then John McGinn.
Well, it's his first start.
Yeah.
It's April.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that to happen that easy, I mean, Onana again, there's question marks because, like we said right there, De Gea's just got smoked for that. So Onana deserves equal criticism. He needs to command his box there 100%. But they were the negatives. That was the first half. There was still patterns of play where you're watching it and you're like, this is really good. I could see. I mean, the one for. Is it the Garnacho goal where he was offside?
Yes.
The build-up before that. There was a goal at Newcastle that we scored under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it was between like Bruno, Donny, Mata, Rashford, I think it was. And it's very similar to that. The build-up from that kind of left-hand side at the back bit, and the patterns of play was beautiful. And when he scored that, I was like, oh my God, that's getting clipped. What a fucking goal that is. But obviously, offside by margins, and then it had me thinking, this is just our luck. This has been happening all fucking season, man.
Was it offside, though? Because we didn't get to see it. Like, literally,
yeah, well, no, they had no replays.
They had no replay. And then Connor was saying they showed a picture, but it was, I've just seen it on Twitter. Apparently, it's like it was from the roof, and
it was mad.
They were like tiny little places. I can't even tell. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it literally showed one little shot, and it was miles away, so you couldn't even see. At the time, I was like, "Can we see the fucking shot, please? Can we see what's going on? Like, why are they not putting it on the screen?" But obviously that got ruled off, so then that makes it even more better. You had the situation, didn't you, Connor, with Hojlund, where he got pushed down for a penalty, but then that was offside. But talk to me about Garnacho, because he was phenomenal, wasn't
he? Yeah, Garnacho, like says, that kind of performance that we saw from tonight is why he is a star in the making. Is this something that where Garnacho can really, nail down that right-hand side? Because obviously we were crying out for someone to do something on that right-hand side, and we haven't, no one's took that opportunity. And Garnacho tonight has shown, probably more what I've seen in previous games than he has on the left. Obviously, he has the odd goal on the left, but tonight a lot better. And he actually tried to, create a few chances for Hojlund as well, which unfortunately Hojlund can get on the end of for whatever reason. We all thought Rashford would start on that right hand side, which we all know Rashford can't. It doesn't do fuck all on that right hand side. So for him on the left, we saw a better Rashford tonight as well. Hopefully, the next couple of games, because obviously, is it not in Forest next as well, away from home?
Yeah.
So
there's a little bit of feedback on your mic, Connor. I don't know if it was. I've just double check that. But I take your point, Garnacho. On that right-hand side has to start there now for me. If he's going to perform like that, playing there every single fucking game. Because Anthony's never shown that. He's so direct. Every time he gets it, you know exactly what he's going to do with it. I'm trying to think of the first goal. I remember the second one, but the first one, was it Bruno? It deflected. Or was that the second one? And then, what was the first goal now? I can't even fucking remember it. Oh, Rashford just squared it, didn't he?
Yeah, straight
across
the 6-yard box.
Yeah. Rashford squared it to him. Replica to almost like what the first one was that was offside. But yeah, Sam, obviously, you're a huge Garnacho fan.
Yeah.
As he's starting to become that player now that you look towards, you think we always know he's a star in the making, innit? But is he starting to become that now?
I think we said it, didn't we? Was it this? I think it was the West Ham game or maybe the Liverpool game, and we were saying maybe he's not ready for a start anymore. Like, maybe he's an impact substitution player. Maybe that's what he is for now, because he's still young. He's still 19. Like, we all sort of seem to forget. But on that right-hand side, he seemed very effective. Like, he was in behind. I don't know if it's because of the way Villa play with that offside trap, which they're very, very good at. And we just got caught repeatedly in it in the first half. What was it, 8 offsides in the first half, which is more than any team in the Premier League, which is ridiculous. And then the second half, we found a way to beat it. We seemed to find, okay, we know where that line is now. We can get behind it. And Garnacho just over and over and over again got in behind. Should have had a hat-trick. Obviously, the offside, I haven't seen the replay of it, so I don't know what it was, offside or not. But the other two, fantastic goals. He worked his arse off. He got in dangerous positions. Very clinical, which is something we've criticised him for the last couple of games. He's not making the correct decision when he gets to that final third, but made correct decision, puts the ball in the back of the net, which is what you want for your forwards. And that record of the last forward to score at Old Trafford with Jadon Sancho is finally gone. Like, fuck for that, because Jesus Christ, that was hanging over.
Well, the stats were lining up, weren't they? He was looking at like 5 games without a goal, 7 hours, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but Garnacho for me is the man of the match. Like, I thought he was phenomenally good. There's other players that definitely deserve a shout out, but for me, Garnacho was head and shoulders above the rest. And I didn't get to touch on Hojlund when Connor was sort of trying on to, but my word, I feel more relief for him than anyone else in that stadium. I think that I saw the relief on his face, and I just felt it like lift off my shoulders because I was just so happy for the guy. Like, I was like, thank God, this dude deserves a goal, and he deserved for all the work he puts in. He was making good runs. He was making his space. Get him and Rashford bit disconnected, but they were trying to link up together and stuff like that. So happy for that guy. So happy for Garnacho. Yeah, all round for our forwards, a really good night. I'm really, really pleased with it.
And there was a guy in attendance tonight as well, in Robin van Persie, who also scored a left-footed volley against Aston Villa. Obviously, that was to win the title. Hojlund's a little bit less kind of significant. But Sam mentioned a couple of players there, and we can go into them, Connor, because it wasn't just Garnacho, it wasn't just Hojlund. They were the standout ones. But like many people have said in the chat, even Marcus today, decision-making, on the ball, running at play, he looked a little bit more lively, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've been crying out for Rashford to actually do something useful for once. It's obviously we all know he's a purple patch player, but for whatever reason he hasn't been at it for us for the season, and we've been really struggling without that Rashford. Running at players and trying to cause problems and trying to link up as well. I think tonight both Garnacho and Rashford showed, this is what we expect from them really. But obviously, Garnacho is younger. Obviously, we expect it more from Rashford because he's more senior. But if we can actually show that fight and desire that we did tonight, Hojlund would benefit more when we're actually trying to involve him. Because like in the previous games, Hojlund is, no service whatsoever. What can you expect to do? It's like a ghost in the team, and that's what the other players have been like in the previous matches. So with Rashford and Garnacho lively, I'm trying to look for Hojlund as well. And now that Hojlund's got his goal as well, which is a lift off, a huge pressure off him as well. So obviously, the more games it would go without Hojlund getting a goal, it's just going to get more pressure.
Yeah. You almost feel like the weight of the world's off their shoulders now for a lot of them, because you guarantee, obviously people say don't tune into social media and don't do this and don't do that, but I guarantee they go home and you look at these stats are coming out, like 5 passes to Hojlund and all this kind of stuff, and like, right, we need to make that right, we need to switch it up. And I thought, patterns today between the front three, between the midfield, equally. I thought Eriksen helped with the creative load significantly. But then you can go anywhere on the pitch, can't you, Sam? Because you look at the centre-backs, Johnny Evans made a massive block. I think it was from John McGinn, where he was definitely going in, and then Rafael Varane as well got a foot in.
There's that cross touch, it was the touch sort of over his head.
So everyone did the part, didn't they?
Yeah, like defensively, I thought that was the worst part of our game today. I thought we looked under pressure any time Villa went forward, and then obviously we've talked about the set piece stuff. But the midfield, like you said, did very, very well. I thought Wan-Bissaka was excellent as well. I thought he did really well.
Yeah.
Got some important tackles in, overlaps going forward. I think Dalot got a little bit too giddy at times. I think he was doing like a Zidane double drag back on the edge of their box at one point. Lost the ball, but you can't blame the guy for trying. And then somebody in the chat, where was it? Dan Raj was saying, did anybody notice that Dalot was taking the number 6 position at times?
Yeah,
so
he was inverting quite a lot.
Inverted, and then obviously Mainoo and Eriksen were pushing up forward, which helped with the attacks and build that sort of sustainability. But yeah, there was a couple of like sort of moments when we built from the back, and it was that quick transitional play, whether it was a ball over the top to Garnacho or Rashford, or we passed it through the midfield and then Bruno let a pass off. Either way, there were some good moments there, and I think if that's the sort of football Ten Hag's looking to build and looking to do, I think we could all get behind that, can't we? Like, if we can play like that and do that sort of football and then just sort it out defensively, because defensive, that's what it's going to cost us. Because with set pieces like that, then you're just going to give games away, especially against the likes of teams that are very good at those sort of things, like Villa are. So, yeah, I thought there was a lot of positives. But, yeah, defensively, probably the weakest part of our games, but still important things happened, like you mentioned, with the Evans block and the Varane touch and stuff like that.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed for me that was absolutely massive was the sustained pressure, even in the second half. Like, we were just relentless in the press, and I don't know if that's a midweek game kind of thing. You know, when now we've obviously got more time to train and stuff. I don't know what it was, but it just seemed like was relentless and would not let them kind of settle or build or anything like that. Maybe it was a case of Aston Villa being off it slightly. I don't know, but I think we definitely deserve the praise in that sense. And then we can go to another player, Connor, and Kobbie Mainoo, young kid, 18 years old. I've just got his stats here. 49 touches, 39 passes completed, 5 out of 6 aerial duels won, 3 clearances, 2 out of 3 tackles won, and 1 interception. He's starting to kind of mould into that thing now. We've got quite a few talented youngsters, haven't we?
Yeah, I think Mainoo, each game that I've seen of him in that team was, he probably looks one of the first names on the sheet for, at the minute, just because of how the performance he puts in, to play in these sort of matches, which were under a lot of pressure as well. Let's not forget, because of, our record at the minute. It's impressive to see how some of these youngsters are thriving, and obviously we've seen Gore and maybe come on later on, but obviously so it's obviously nice to see Gore get a few minutes as well. But Mainoo, like, you can't drop him, can you, when he's playing like this? It's like you don't want to overplay him, but at the same time, it's like when he's one of your best performing players, how can you drop him for anyone really?
Yeah, it's one of them. Like, I think if we didn't have him, it's as sad as it sounds, because I know he's an 18-year-old kid and we shouldn't have that pressure on him, then I don't know who would play there. I think because he's the only kind of calm head and that one who has that defensive mindset. Because whenever we've tried Eriksen there, does not work. McTominay, don't need to get into it. We've tried Bruno there against Everton. We've tried loads of different things, and Kobbie Mainoo brings that balance alongside a Bruno and a Christian Eriksen. So I thought it was really, really good today. Right, I'm going to read out just a couple of comments because I appreciate it fucking loads. Huge win, massive for Hojlund, but we need to start seeing that second half performance for 90 minutes now. Hopefully this is the turnaround moment this season. It's a very smart comment from Brian. Shreyas is saying, I think we played well first half too. The 2 goals we conceded were only moments Villa had. Shivy saying we weren't stellar, but there were so many positives to take from this. Probably the best attacking play this season in terms of chance creation. I would tend to agree with that. That goal will be massive for Hojlund. His confidence will go through the roof. I think he said his best feeling in his life or something after the game in a post-match interview. So buzzing for him. Obviously meant a lot. You could see that by the celebration. Garnacho becoming one of our key players, says Tim99. Massive improvement from Rashford. Decision-making was much better and he understood his role today. Fair play to him. Ten Hag has definitely threatened everyone that you don't cross, then you face the consequences. Dallo Sharivi says Kobbie Mainoo, our hidden gem who is shining, doing all the work in the shadow. And then Moondog says that beard is on point. I think he's speaking to you, Connor. So fair play.
Yeah,
I'm guessing. I don't know. I can't think of any United phrase. But take it in it.
I was going to say, because me and Nick haven't got one, so I assume.
Yeah, I've definitely not got one. Yeah. Right, as you can see, we've got the stats on the screen. So I just want to do a quick run through with them. The most standout one, Sam, was the offsides, because it was 6 offsides in the first half. That high line was killing us, wasn't it?
I think there was 8 in the first half, I think.
Oh my god.
More than any team in the Premier League in the first half. That's all ever. So that goes to show. I think, but like I said earlier, I think we worked it out in the second half. I think we figured out the timing and where they are, and then figured our runs to it. Because we got in behind quite a lot with that ball over the top. I think Onana did it to Rashford and Garnacho. Bruno did it a couple of times. Kobbie Mainoo did one as well, I remember as well. So there's a couple of times did that, and then there was other times where we played it through the midfield and a through ball or something like that. So yeah, we figured it out in the second half, but that first half, it was just every fucking time, wasn't it? Every time we played the ball behind it, we were just like offside.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, frustrating. But Villa are very good at this. It's part of their identity. This is how they play. They play with this high line and they catch people offside. They did it to City. They did it to Liverpool. They've done it to every single one. So, yeah, you have to be prepared for that. And then I think we worked out in the second half. I've just seen something around the Sir Jim Radcliffe thing. The SEC filing has been made for the purchase 25% of Man United. There will be no dividends taken for the 3 years. So, there you go.
More good news. I'll take it. A bit of sprinkle on top. Is that dividends from the Glazers, though, or is that dividends from them?
For everyone.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm fucking surprised they've agreed to that, but I suppose they've all just received about 700 million, haven't they? So, yeah, doesn't surprise me at all. In terms of league position, Connor, obviously it's massive in it because I think before the game, we was 11 points off Villa. If we would have lost, obviously we went 2-0 down, so most people thought we was going to lose. It would have been 14 points behind Villa. And during any season, I don't care what kind of form they're in, that would have been horrendous. So the fact now we've won that, is that a big for the season, do you think? Or do you want to kind of take it step by step in a minute?
Like I say, I don't think let's get too carried away with that. I think, we just got to take each game as it comes right now. Because, it's how the Premier League is right now as well. We'll lose. We could lose the next game and we'll be back down to 8th or 10th. Yeah. So it's kind of like, that's why you can't get carried away. And every game has shown so far how competitive it is. So, obviously great that, we are behind Man City and we are, close to that top 4 area. But, with how we've been playing as of late, we can't, get carried away with like, oh yeah, this is it now, we're on the charge. We have to wait and see if we can go to Nottingham Forest and pick up a result there, and then the next game and the next game. So at the minute, we need to build a bit of consistency if we want to try and get into that area. But like right now, it's just about that win for me, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the expectations from you now, Sam? You watched that performance. We want to kind of see this now more on a consistent basis, right?
Yeah, you've got to see that pattern of play, the way we played in bits in the first half, but like especially the second half, where you turn the heat up and the pressure is on them and we're playing fast transitional football, we're attacking, we're playing through balls, we're playing balls on top, and we're breaking them down and making sure we're getting pressure on them and scoring goals. If we can sort out defensively, the way with the shambolic defending, the set pieces, stuff like that, and keep them out, and then at the other end we're doing that sort of play, we should be fine. Like if we could play like that every game, we should be fine because we've got the firepower up front. They've just not been doing it until now, and now they've started to do it. But yeah, we saw our defensively is what really, really worried me today. Really, really worried, especially with set pieces. So I don't know what's going on with set pieces because for the last 2 seasons we've been terrible.
Really bad.
Using them to get goals and defending them, just been absolutely awful. So that needs to be remedied immediately because it worries me every time we have a corner, and every time we get a corner we know what's happening. Either it's going short and we waste it, or it's going straight into the first man. Every fucking corner is batshit crazy.
It's weird. It's whatever player it is, even if Luke Shaw takes it, or Ericsson or Bruno. I don't understand it. Like I mentioned after the West Ham game, didn't we? Like Ward-Prowse, when you watch it, looped right on the money, exactly where you want it. As always hits the first guy, or we just try to play something smart, and because they haven't got the cohesion to do it, it never comes off. So every time we got a corner, every United fan knows exactly what's going to happen. It's just like, well, this is just a waste because we're just going to lose straight off the bat. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Obviously, there are things to build on. We've got Nottingham Forest on Saturday, I believe it is. I watched them against Newcastle, and they were really good. I mean, talk about like transitional play. Fuck me, they killed Newcastle off
on the counter. They murdered them. Absolutely
dangerous.
Murdered them.
And
they could have had more today as well. With Alanga, I think Alanga could have played that first goal that Alanga played in Wood for. That literally could have happened. That he could have had that same sort of goal. The first time around. So dangerous, aren't they?
That's like you said, and if you go lose there, then this result means nothing. So, look, we're obviously all happy, but I think we would all kind of agree at the same time, like you don't want to get too carried away because this team have turned up before. They've done. We've seen this before. We've seen like moments where they can play really, really well, and then the heads drop. They think they're the best in the world next game. So let's just get a consistent run. Let's start getting some green W's on the board, and have 5 out of 5, 6 out of 6. That's when I'll start celebrating it. But it's a good starting point. I thought we played well for the majority of the game, and it's something to build on for sure.
I think the performance is a more positive thing because Liverpool, everybody's saying, "Oh, that's a good result. That's a good like point and what have you," but the performance was not great, was it? Like we didn't really do anything.
Actually, the wall.
Yeah,
don't concede.
You know
That's
what I
all
mean?
it was.
And then the other games where Ten Hag won Manager of the Month, I wouldn't say any of the performances were great. Would you? Like I watched those games. That we were
No,
like,
I mean
not
Fulham.
great.
Last minute winner. I was at the Luton game.
Yeah.
That was just like
Terrible.
sleeping bags and coffee. Yeah, awful.
Brentford, we probably should have lost at
Last 10 minutes.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
all performances were fucking awful, but we got results. So for this, we got the result and the performance was there. So we got both.
Absolutely.
So that's slightly more promising. Like if we would have played absolute dog shit and come away with a result, we'd be like, all right, 3 points, but performances need to improve. Whereas with this, we got the performance. So I think there's slightly more to be happy about. Obviously, the 2-0 and the set-piece defending, criminal. Need to fix that immediately. But everything else, I think, is really, really good. Shout out, there's like 30 people in the chat. Thank you so much for all the support. We appreciate it. Like it's always nice to know that when we play well, there's more people show up than when we play shit.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. No, well, we appreciate the support regardless. Make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already to Real Reds Talk. The pros and cons should be out tomorrow. But overall, like we've all just touched on, I think pressing so much better today. Patterns of play, in possession, out of possession. You know, like Sam said, the set pieces were definitely fucking worrying. And Eric Ramsey needs to, I don't know what he's been doing the past 2 years, to be honest with you, because they've been shit. But...
You see him like talking like on the touchline, don't you? But it's just like, well, what else is he doing other than like, you know, taking in information or just like, because it's like that amount of freedom that Langley had to, you know, header that ball into Dendoncker was ridiculous. That no one was there to like rush into Langley as well. It's just
yeah. Don't forget, guys, I don't know if I just mentioned this, Pros and Cons is out tomorrow, so make sure you go check that out, where I do a deep, detailed analysis. Sam, I don't know if you've seen this, 5 Real Red gifted memberships. Have you seen that?
I put it in because there was 30 people in the chat, so I was like, it's Christmas, let's gift out, because we've got to use them by New Year's Eve, so I was like, I'll chuck them out.
Awesome. Yeah, I think there was 5 on the stream before, I can't remember the names of that, but... they are random. We don't select them, by the way. So anyone's thinking, why did I get a membership? They're random.
If I could pick them, there would be like particular people I would love to give to. It's literally random. Yeah. So if you didn't get random. I apologise.
Yeah. So we got Chris Pep, Jans, Peter Nielsen, Tom Goldsworthy, Rajat V, and Henry Jones, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I've rejoined on loan again. That's what Henry just put. Simon Davis as well.
Statman Henry.
Yeah. You're all a bunch of legends. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas and a Boxing Day. Obviously, it's ended very nice. Only an hour and 15 minutes left, so go enjoy the rest of it. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year. We play. Is it Forest after the New Year? I can't even think now.
I think so.
Or was it before?
Yeah, I think it's after New Year.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure, but
regardless,
is it Wigan next, or is it actually?
Yeah, double check that just before, because I don't want to. I don't want to say Happy New Year with that if we're just going to see us in a couple of days. So, you know what I mean? Chris Wood has absolutely rinsed those Georgie. No. Fair enough.
Yeah, one thing is, though, positive that, you know, as soon as McTominay's back on the bench, we'll play a bit better.
Well, that's it.
But it's just, you know, the only worry that we have with that is how many games can Eriksen play all in one go? Because it's like, it's the legs, isn't it? So
Saturday 5:30 kickoff for Forest.
So, what date is that?
Saturday, is that 30th.
30th? Oh, so it's before New Year.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so we'll see you before the New Year then.
Yeah, Henry with the result as always. 30th, Nottingham Forest. 8th of the January against Wigan, and then 14th of January against Tottenham, and then the 1st of Feb against Wolves. That's our next 4 games.
And we've had, of course, Ineos coming as well. So Dave Brailsford was at the game tonight. So, look, there's a couple of things to be positive about heading into the new year. Let's keep this momentum up and let's keep winning fucking games. And who knows, maybe you can turn the season around, but it's a long, long way to go.
Can we end it on this? They were interviewed by Prime, Garnacho and Hojlund. And Garnacho's put, best day of my life, I love you, and looked at Hojlund. And Hojlund looked at him and went, I love you too.
Perfect. What a Christmas gift. What a Christmas gift. Right, guys, make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you haven't done already. Leave a like on the video for us if you can, if you thought that was fucking sick. And me, Sam, and Connor will see you a lot in the next one, yeah? Make sure you check out Pros and Cons tomorrow. Should be out about 4 o'clock, and then there'll be a new show as well.
Check out Nick's Ineos video as well.
Oh, yeah.
10-step plan?
Ineos 10-step plan, yeah.
Check that out as well. It's a good video. Go check that out.
Awesome. Yeah. See you later, guys. Take care. Have a wonderful new year. You're all legends. Peace.
We want Blaze Out, and we want Blaze Out. We want Blaze Out, and we want Blaze Out. We want Blaze Out, and we want Blaze Out.